Oh, gosh. Are we ready? It's working. Are we ready? Are we ready?
Now your brother can see why.
There we go. We are almost live.
Good evening. Welcome to the Town of Cicero Planning Board meeting. Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Jim, would you lead us off, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next, we're approve the minutes from the January 4th meeting. Any questions or comments? Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve as printed. I worked very hard. I could not find.
Again,
I asked her to please make a couple of mistakes, so. I'd be excited when I find them, but.
I asked her to also, so we don't have to listen to
I'll second that.
it. Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Abbey,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder,
Yes.
Mr. Bloss.
Yes.
I vote yes, minutes have passed. Next, we'll open the meeting to public comment. Is there anybody here that would like to address the board on any active application? Hi, Judy. Given nobody's approach, we'll close the public hearing and move on to the first agenda item. This is for the property at 7381 Route 31. This is a 4-lot subdivision. We set a public hearing for this meeting, our last meeting. Unfortunately, the public notice was ineffective, so I'm gonna open the meeting, the public hearing. And we're gonna defer comment into the next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be February 1st, to allow for proper publication and notice to the public. Is there anybody here by chance that would wanted to address this? No, okay. Didn't think so. So we'll move on to the next one. It's a zone change recommendation. This is for Group 1 development, property at 8443 Wayfarer Drive. General commercial to residential multifamily. Chinese Romans is the applicant's representative. Good evening.
Good evening, Pat Reynolds with I News and Romans Land Surveying. As said, we're just seeking a recommendation to the town board. What we're looking to do is a zone change from general commercial to the RM townhouse. The end goal would be to build townhouses to end up with roughly 16 rental units. 16 is what we figured would be the max we could fit in there. Certainly, once things progress, we'd come in with a full site plan and see what the total number is. Out of curiosity, did you guys get the sketch plan showing proposed
Did not.
layout?
We're gonna ask.
Yep.
So based on the area of the lot, we could have 19 units. When the sketch was prepared, it seems like 16 is the most that we could fit in there without over cluttering the site. And as I said, once we actually move into site plan process, do a topographic survey out there, see what the drainage is going to be like. The number could, of course, shrink. 16 is kind of what our max projection is on that.
You all set?
Yeah.
We'll open up to questions. Mr. Duval?
Okay, so the only entrance or exit would be on Wayfair?
That's correct.
Okay, nothing on South Bay.
No.
I'm good for now.
Mr. Abbey?
I'm all set for now.
Mr. Snyder?
I guess what you're showing here is there's a driveway to each unit. They are different widths. Is that,
So right now, we're just showing a mix of what a typical townhouse would be. Some of them are 2-car garages, some of them would be 1-car garages. The individual driveways to the units are just to kind of get away from that sort of public parking area. Each unit would have the availability to stack parking in those spaces. So there is no set design right now on the townhouse.
now these would be sold or rented?
They'd be rental units.
Rented. I guess that's all I got for now.
Mr. Bloss,
I'm all set.
Mrs. Hogan?
So do we know like floors? If it's like 2 floors, 1 floor?
I do not have that information right
Okay.
now.
I guess
So
just
right now, we're looking at,
just getting 16 or
right
just,
now, we're just looking at zone change.
Okay.
RM.
okay,
This is,
I'm all
I mean,
set
they
then.
did this as a courtesy. They really don't
Gotcha.
even need to do that,
Okay,
but we can certainly ask questions on it based on what they're. Anything else at this point?
nope, just, does each one have its own parking spot?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
But not, we don't know about garages or anything yet.
The way these sketches are laid out, they would, as they're represented, they would all have garages. It wouldn't be a mix between 1-car garage, 2-car garages. But again, these are just kind of like a hypothetical layout. Certainly, you know, when we get into it, I'm sure
Yeah.
something will be designed.
I'm sure this is for later as well, but do you know if there's a plan to have the owner being taken care of all the property, the maintenance? Or is it individual?
So it would be, it's my understanding that the owner is going to maintain the property. It's going to be just rental units. You could rent, much like you would rent an apartment, just as an alternative to the apartment building. They're going to be separate townhouse. The idea is to kind of give it more of that community feel for the apartment building.
There's no subdivision. It's just one lot,
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. That's all for now.
private driveway.
That's correct.
Yeah, so going from GC to RM here, I think makes good sense. When I look at this layout, just for your knowledge, when I look at the 2 of them that back up to the main entrance, be curious to know how that would look if, you know, if, when we get to that point, but this would go in front of the planning board.
For the development, yes, site plan review, correct.
Steve, that's all I have now. Steve?
All set, thank you.
Neil?
Just like any other move to have a zone change, when they show you a plan, it's conceptual. They don't have to even come back with that plan later on.
Right.
You could get anything that would be allowable in the RM. They would have to come back for site plan.
So they're asking for RM townhouse? Right? That's what I saw.
They are, and really that comes down to when the application, the bulk regulations is what is required or necessitates whatever development they're proposing.
RM
Essentially
townhouse
an
looks the
RM.
same as RM.
There's RM 2-family, there's RM townhouse, there's RM multifamily.
Yeah.
Right.
I just have a quick question,
Yeah.
just because I'm not aware. At this level, then they don't need to tell us like height regulations in terms of how tall.
Well, there's regulations they have to abide by 35
Right.
feet.
Okay.
35 feet, correct, yep.
thank
They would
you.
have to abide by the regulations that are in our code for RM townhouse.
Right.
So under RM townhouse, they couldn't put an apartment complex or Neil.
You know, the zoning is, I guess it depends on what they come in and make application for. It's an RM zoning. You could potentially, the bulk regulations are gonna be you're applying the same lot area per unit as you would in an RM multifamily.
Yeah, I think the zoning actually, they're asking I'm just looking at the code here. I mean, there is only an RM district. It doesn't specify beyond that. There's difference in the bulk regulations for the type of development, whether it be an apartment, a multifamily house, or a townhome. So really what they're asking for is a zone change to RM residential multiple.
Which could be anything under.
We can't stipulate. We could not stipulate townhouse and not apartment.
You can, you're gonna give a recommendation, as part of your recommendation, you could recommend that, you know, this be allowed for townhomes, but not apartments. You just give them that suggestion. So they have it, and it happens.
And I assume you'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
Steve, did I check with you? You're all set?
I'll say, thank you. Yep.
Neil,
That's it.
Mark? And we'll do the recommendation tonight.
Yes.
We don't need a seeker.
Is that-
We do not need a seeker.
No, it's just a recommendation.
Could you propose a motion, please?
You're gonna move for the adoption of a resolution recommending the zone change application known as Group One Development LLC 8443 Wayfair Drive, GC to RM. The planning board recommends the following in regard to this application. Planning board recommends that it be stipulated that the land use be for townhomes as opposed to apartments.
And would somebody like to make that a motion?
So move.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Abbey,
Yes.
Mr. Snyder,
Yes.
Mr. Bloss?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
thank you.
Last item on the agenda is for a minor subdivision. This is for Clare Castle Path, 2 lots. As an amendment to an existing subdivision. You got this one too?
So you guys were provided copies of this map, correct? Does anybody need a copy? Okay, so this is just an amendment to the originally filed map. At the time the original map was created, we did not have Clear Castle path going through the Niagara Mohawk property. And since the construction, the road was put through. And now that the period of 10 years has passed and it is an actual town road, lots 13 and 14 can be created. So we're coming in for an amendment on the map to get those lots.
So this is an existing subdivision. Homes are all built, 13 and 14. Have not been subdivided,
That's correct.
and the road is existing. And because of the 10 years, it's now a town road,
That's correct.
and it was built to standard.
That's correct.
So it was just a matter of getting the road extended.
That's correct. On the original plan, we had the road terminating at the bend
Okay.
where it makes a turn to the west. And so there was no actual road frontage continuing through to create the lots 13 and 14.
And it's at the back and it's what, like a spur?
Now it connects all the way through to the original, to the older subdivision.
So the road was put in when the subdivision was put in.
It must have been put in relatively close to that time.
Interesting. So the road is already in. It has been in for
Okay,
10 or more years, which legally makes it a town road.
okay.
And so there's frontage there that will work for these 2 lots that they're looking to add to the subdivision. Kind of unique.
Yeah, it is.
Any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Mr. Abbey,
No, it seems pretty straightforward.
Mr. Snyder,
I'm good.
Mr. Bloss?
I'm all set.
I'm all set as well.
I'm all set.
Good.
Thank you.
Steve?
I would just remind the board there'll be park fees associated if they decide to approve this.
So we will add park fees as a requirement. Mr. Jermaine,
I'm all set.
Mr. Parrish,
I'll second it.
I will make a motion for our standard seeker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Duval,
Yes.
Mr. Abbey,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Bloss.
Yes.
And I vote yes on the seeker. Neil, would you propose a motion for approval, please?
Yes, you're gonna move the adoption of resolution approving the application known as minor subdivision filling and final plan. Karlisky Path, detached map 116-01-18.32 lot. Tindler's Meadows, section 1 amended. This is restricted condition on the following. 1, the applicant is hereby advised that pursuant to section 185(6) of section F of the code, the applicant has 90 days from the approval to file this map. After this is the 90-day filing deadline, this approval will expire. 2, the applicant or the plan will be amended to include a note and a label regarding the boundaries of the right of way across the Niagara Mohawk Corporation easement. Next, the portion of the road right away adjacent to lots 13 and 14 on the plan will be dedicated to the town official prior to the chairman planning of the plan. Next, the applicant will pay park fees in accordance with the town code. And lastly, the applicant is further notified that the chairman of the planning board may delay signing of the final plan until the chairman verifies that the applicant has executed any and all necessary undertakings or agreements for the town, and then all securities are in place.
Would somebody like to make that a motion?
I'll make,
Do you have a second?
Second.
Mr. Duval,
yes.
Mr. Abbey? Yes. Mr. Snyder?
Yes.
Mr. Bloss?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Thank you.
That concludes our agenda items. Any discussion from the team? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
Meeting is adjourned. Good night.